half-hour trip down the Pennsylvania Road, Friday night at 7.
Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Joe Zone on sports. This is the Newswatch 16 update.
Good evening. 'Tis the season to hit the road.
And that's just what millions of drivers all across the country are doing tonight. State police in our area say there have been no major tie-ups of holiday traffic so far. We sent Night Beat reporter Dan Fiorucci out on the road tonight to check out a spot where motorists traditionally find themselves in a jam this time of year.
It's the biggest traffic weekend of the year, and this is probably one of the toughest traffic areas in the state, the Delaware Water Gap Bridge. It's the main artery for people commuting between New Jersey and northeastern Pennsylvania. But on this evening, traffic was heavy but moving along the Delaware Water Gap Toll Bridge, an area that has a reputation for sometimes being backed up for miles. Things were moving along tonight because summer construction barriers had been removed. Whatever the reason, people were pleased.
What do you think of the traffic here? Pretty good for this time of year.
But others said parts of Route 80 weren't quite so good.
Terrible. Terrible. 80 was terrible.
But if there were problems tonight, they were apparently isolated. Late this evening, state police could cite no major traffic tie-ups. And late this afternoon, Skycam 16 found no problems on Route 81 or on the Turnpike. And so the word, so far so good. The next big traffic crunch is expected Sunday night. Dan Fiorucci, Newswatch 16.
Officials in Carbon County hope a new bypass will make the streets of downtown Lehighton safer. The Stanley Hoffman Boulevard was dedicated today. Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini reports the roadway got its name in a very unusual way.
Driving into Lehighton along Route 209 towards Jim Thorpe, you must now turn down onto the bypass. This road takes traffic away from the downtown and what was a congested area. But Route 209 in the opposite direction still travels right through the heart of town. The honor of naming the new bypass road was given to local veterans groups. They decided to name it after some local soldier who died in World War II.
And we had 51 names, so we put them into a drum, mixed them up.
And the name picked was Sergeant Stanley Hoffman of Bowmanstown. He died when a mine hit his landing ship off the coast of Italy 40 years ago. The woman he had only been married to for 2 years is here for the dedication.
Well, I feel very honored, and I'm pleased that his name was picked, and he has no family to follow on behind him. He had no children or anything, so this is a great honor.
The Sergeant Stanley Hoffman Boulevard is seen as a way to keep the Hoffman name alive, since there are few relatives in the area.
An uncle and an aunt of his that are in the area yet.
And you?
Yes, and me.
So widow and sister take part in the ribbon cutting, and they remember 40 years later.
Everything that happened, you remember. I remember living with him in the service and having a nice life together, what we did have. He was a very nice person.
Now Sergeant Stanley Hoffman is remembered with a boulevard in his name. You might ask, all this for a quarter-mile stretch of road? Well, consider it cost over $1 million, was 20 years in the planning, and now will make it a lot easier to get through town. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Lehighton.
Coming up, who does and doesn't have to boil drinking water?
Plus, we'll show you what the kids at the Scranton State School for the Deaf are cooking up for the holiday. We'll check out the menu as Newswatch 16 update continues.
Redford takes to the skies.
Waldo, you're the greatest natural flyer I've ever seen in my life. That kind of flying is finished. You're going to have to learn to live with it.
I'm through, Waldo. My heart isn't in it.
We've been together all our lives. Tell me to fly it, and I'll fly it. Tell me to skip it, and I'll skip it. Slide back. Don't let it slide back. Don't let it slide back!
Robert Redford is the Great Waldo Pepper. Tomorrow, here on WNEP TV 16.
It is the eve of Thanksgiving, and many of us remember our history lessons about the very first Thanksgiving feast. Times have changed since then, but in Scranton today, Newswatch 16's Kathy Bellich found students from the State School for the Deaf who can show us a sign of the season.
It was a first experience for many of these students at the Scranton State School for the Deaf to make their own Thanksgiving dinner. But 5-year-old Chrissy Price says she's an old pro in the kitchen. She's helped her mother.
Before you helped Mommy, what did you cook?
Okay.
What is this? Mrs. Sluck, what is this?
We were peeling potatoes.
Oh, peeling potatoes.
They had all the modern conveniences, but these grade schoolers put on the garb of Indians and pilgrims to get a feel for what it was like the first time people in this country gathered to give thanks.
Pastor, where do we have Thanksgiving? What happened a long time ago? The Pilgrims came to America and they found the Indians. The Indians helped the Pilgrims plant food. They became friends.
After a Thanksgiving prayer,
Family, friends, we meet.
the turkey was carved, and it was time to dig in.
The kids had a good time making their own Thanksgiving Day meal and eating it together. But the teachers say they learned something, too. They learned the words associated with making a meal, words they never knew before. And they also learned something else. Happy Thanksgiving. Kathy Bellich, Newswatch 16 at the Scranton State School for the Deaf.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And next, our proud Papa-to-be will be heading out to the backyard.
I suppose Tom should repeat the announcement for those of you who missed what he had to say at 6 o'clock.
We're going to become proud parents the end of May.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Does that mean that the honeymoon's about to end when that happens?
No.
No, I know my sleeping habits are going to change. I know that. Yeah. Hey, stay tuned. I'll tell you what I think the weather's going to be like on the first day of deer season.
For home products at the right price, buy where the builders buy. Mariotti Lumber in Old Forge.
Enjoy Anderson windows at the lowest prices anywhere. At Mariotti Lumber, we stock thousands of famous Anderson windows. Choose from white and terratone in all styles and sizes. Bays, bows, even custom-made windows. Designed specially for you in our custom window shop.
Remember, whether you're building or remodeling, come save at Mariotti Lumber Company. Our experience makes us the leader.
A successful Scranton businessman has demonstrated his thankfulness by again giving to others. Insurance executive Brian Murray gave out 600 Thanksgiving turkeys to needy families today, just as he's done in years past. Murray's generosity went to Lackawanna County families who were able to properly cook the poultry, but who find themselves in financial difficulties. Applications for the turkeys were taken by the Red Cross, Salvation Army, and Catholic Social Services.
Very nice. Well, let's find out what kind of weather we're going to have for Turkey Day.
Yeah.
How about it, Tom?
A rare kind of day shaping up for tomorrow. Very much different from what it was like on Thanksgiving back in 1971 when we had 21 inches of snow. No way it's going to be like that for the next couple of days. It looks pretty nice. But outside now we have a few stubborn clouds overhead. I mean, it is cold out here. I just saw a turkey walk by with a cape on. I mean, 27 outside now. Humidity 65%. The wind north at 10. Sorry about that. Hey, the spring is wound tight inside the barometer tonight. 30.61 inches, and it's still rising. It's all because of that dense Canadian air we have in town tonight. Today's high 35 and 24, the low so far. 73. 84 years ago. That's an old record, and it still stands. 1 year ago today, we had clear skies and 45 degrees. Photographer Al Cornack got us a shot tonight from the Scranton Overlook showing the WEJL Tower atop the Scranton Times building. Nicely decorated for the holidays, as it always is. Well, alrighty, there's the latest view from space, showing just a few clouds dipping down into extreme northeastern Pennsylvania, but otherwise, look what's waiting in the wings for tomorrow. The atmosphere is going to be warming up at all levels tomorrow, and that means there's going to be less condensation of water vapor, and so that means that by the time you begin carving that turkey tomorrow, there won't be a cloud in the sky. But awful down in Florida again tomorrow, some heavy rains down that way, and Out to the west, not too bad. A front out that way will whip across the state on Friday, probably dry, but it's going to be kind of weak. No big shot of cold air coming in behind that. As a matter of fact, temperatures will be trending upward over the next 4 days. Now, my forecast is coming up for tomorrow. A flawless Thanksgiving Day. Blue sky all over the place. The wind will diminish in the afternoon. A beautiful day. 18 will be the low at the start tomorrow morning in Towanda. 40 the high. About 40 in Pittston tomorrow. 19 and 41 tomorrow's range in Sybertsville down there in beautiful Cunningham Valley. 20 and 42 in Schuylkill Haven. And the high tomorrow in Williamsport, about 42 after a low of 18. Now, times of sunrise and sunset on this Thanksgiving, 7 a.m., and the sun will set at 4:40. How about it? All right. Mostly clear tonight. Well, it will become clear over this part of the state. A few clouds now, but a clear start. 19, clear tomorrow, 40. And then on Friday, mostly cloudy. Should be a dry day, though, as that front moves on through 45. Saturday, a nice day. Mostly sunny, near 50 on Sunday, and probably into the 50s on Monday, the first day of deer season. Probably a dry day as well. So that's it. Looking good. Like to wish you two a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thank you very
Thanksgiving
much.
to you and Noreen.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Some area millionaires are spending the night tonight in New York City. The Williamsport High School Marching Millionaire Band is resting up for its big day tomorrow. 218 kids will perform tomorrow on nationwide television in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Newswatch 16's Craig Stevens is traveling with the band. These pictures were taken earlier today on the road to the Big Apple.
I'm very excited, you know. I'm sure everyone else is. We'll be even more excited when we get up there and see the city.
What are you looking forward to the most?
The lights. really, the tall buildings and the lights and all the excitement.
Craig Stevens will have more on the Williamsport Millionaires at Macy's Parade tomorrow on Newswatch 16 at 6 and on the update at 11.
And still ahead, we'll light up your life.
Plus, the surprising coaching story at Pitt. And a look at a couple of high school powerhouses. Joe Zone and the 16 Sports Screen next.
Man Who Needed a Hobby by Taylor's Hobby World. He ate his fingernails, his hair turned gray. The doctor said, you need to play. A hobby, he said, was the way to go. Don't need much money, most prices are low. At Taylor's Hobby World, life's just begun. A hobby from Taylor's makes life lots of fun. Now he's young outside and young at heart. Should have gone to Taylor's right from the start. Off-road remote-controlled cars only, starting at $59.95.
If you're of the opinion that all quality fine diamonds are just too expensive, then you aren't aware of Jewel Corps' elaborate diamond collection. Part of this is devoted exclusively to contemporary anniversary rings. Their appeal is classic, long-lasting, and beauty unquestioned. Yes, Jewel Corps makes even these affordable. Wouldn't you be proud to own one? Diamonds at Jewel Corps. There's one for you. And it's your chance to start your very own dynasty. Champagne, anyone?
There's a turkey in Montana that apparently wanted to run away from the roasting pan, but ended up instead in the city pound. The turkey was captured today making turkey tracks down the streets of Sidney, Montana. Officials say it's just like catching a stray dog or cat. Into the pound it goes for 2 days. If its owner isn't found, the bird will probably be turned over to police. A veterinarian says if you were to dress it up for dinner, that turkey would weigh in at about 10 pounds.
To the pound we go. Huh?
To the pound.
I guess. Little Bird told me that you're going to talk about minor league baseball, right, Joe?
Well, I have good news for anybody interested in seeing minor league baseball. They've got 40 days left, and they're at 1,003 tickets sold. You know, they want 2,000. They're a little, so they're almost there, halfway with still 6 weeks to go. They just had their meeting tonight, so that is good news for baseball fans and stadium fans. And good news today for a coach that I know. A couple of weeks ago, I was saying no mo Fazio. Wow, has that changed? Pitt's going through it his worst season in years. They are 2-7-1. Most everybody blames the coach, not the school. Today, Pitt's athletic director ended all of the speculation. They say Fazio will be back next year. The school admits the season did not go as expected. Remember, they were preseason in the top 10 ranked. They do not blame Fazio, but they did not guarantee that Fazio would be around for all 4 years of his contract. That means We'll take this year's blunder. Do it again, you're gone. Well, if you're impressed by records, then you'll really like Saturday's playoff showdown between Hanover area and Honesdale. In the last 2 seasons, they've combined for 41 wins and 2 losses. John Evans takes a look at these 2 Class B powerhouses.
This one matches up 2 of the most explosive offenses in the area. Honesdale is averaging just over 32 points a game, mostly with a great passing attack. Hanover has to control the right arm of quarterback Win Light and his receivers to win.
Of course, we're not going to shut him down completely. We don't go into the game thinking that he's not going to complete a pass. What we try to do is hopefully give him his share of passes, but not the big ones, of course. We don't want to give him the big play.
Hanover is averaging just under 32 points a game, but they do it a little differently. Their bread and butter is a tough ground game led by Steve Kaminsky, who's capable of breaking it from any spot on the field.
What we want to do is try and stop the home run. There's, the 40, 50-yard touchdown run. We know they're going to move the ball, and so we want to make them earn every one, the 10, 12-play drive.
One other thing Honesdale might have in its favor in this game is the revenge factor. Hanover beat Honesdale in the B final last year, 21-14, and believe me, they remember it.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's not a little thing. We want to beat them, and I'm sure they want to beat us. They want to defend it, and we want to get it.
A year ago, this matchup was for the title. This year, it's only a semifinal. The winner goes into the championship game of Class B. John Evans, Newswatch 16 Sports in Honesdale.
Friday, we will preview the 2A semifinals, Mount Carmel, Wyoming area, Berwick, Valley View. Those are 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the Super 16. Okay, NBA tonight. Let's check in on Flash Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. And, well, not a good night for the Bulls tonight. They're in red, not a big night for Jordan. Orlando Woolridge right there at 13 in the first half to keep the Bulls close, but the Bucks in white did a nice job. Mike Davis scored there 15 points up. There's Jordan going inside. He did not have the traditional big game. Helps Chicago nibble away, but when it's all over, it's 108-98 final score in that one, and Milwaukee has the win. Wow. Philadelphia 112, Indiana 107. Is it broken, or are they supposed to do that? Boston 135, Golden State 91, Washington 97, Kansas City 92, New York 109, Cleveland 100, and Milwaukee over Chicago, as you saw, 108-98. Now, let's go to the National Hockey League. Buffalo and the New York Rangers. I want you to watch what they call the perfect pass. Watch it. Here it comes. Drop back, bang, and the Rangers are on the board. There's no way. Now, this is what you call get in your pocket picked, folks. Play around in front of your own net. Here comes the Sabre defenseman, and boom, that's in the net, and there's a goal for Buffalo. And then back come the Rangers right here. Watch the blast from way up at the top of the point, and you can't stop that. That's in the corner. There's the Ranger goal. They win it tonight. Check the scoreboard in the National Hockey League. Philadelphia beat Boston 4-3. The Rangers over Buffalo 3-2, the close one there. Washington and Pittsburgh 3-3 won overtime. Detroit beat Hartford, and the score of that game 4-2. Elsewhere, Winnipeg, Edmonton 2-1 in the first, and Vancouver, Calgary 3-0 Calgary. That's in the first. Fishing game forecast for tomorrow for those diehards who will probably go out and do that stuff first and then eat turkey. Looks good about 12:30. I won't be hunting and fishing at 12:30. I will be
carving.
Carving the
yes,
turkey.
You got it.
Yeah,
okay,
can't wait.
Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Next, getting turned on in Scranton and Wilkes-Barre.
But before we switch to that story, you can check tonight's winning lottery numbers. The daily number is 683, and the big 4 number is 6419.
In classics and everyday discounts, Duchess Factory Outlet.
At Duchess Factory Outlet, you will find hundreds of designer suits, wool coats, and raincoats for men and women. Come in today and save up to 40% on Misty Harbor, London Fog, Stanley Blacker, H. Freeman, and so much more. Duchess Factory Outlet, Route 11, Pittston.
Duchess Factory Outlet.
Wes Friedman is the magical setting for holiday savings on fine diamond and gold jewelry, watches, and everything name brand. Save at Wes Friedman on Regina's heavy-duty electric broom power team, just $52.99. Norelco's triple header has floating heads for a close, comfortable shave, on sale for $22.99. The Toastmaster toaster oven installs under cabinets, toasts, bakes, and broils, now $49.99 at Wes Friedman. Save on all your holiday gifts at Wes Friedman. We wrote the book on savings.
Well, if you find yourself humming the tune, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. There's good reason. At 6 tonight, you saw live pictures of Wilkes-Barre's official Christmas tree lit for the first time in Wilkes-Barre's public square. And this is what it looked like, about an hour and a half ago. It's a 30-foot high tree donated to the city. It'll serve to brighten downtown Wilkes-Barre throughout the holiday shopping season ahead.
Well, another Christmas holiday tradition is lighting up the skies in Scranton tonight. That's better than mine. Some call it the largest Christmas tree in our area. It's actually the WEJL radio tower on top of the Scranton Times building. You can see it here from just about anywhere in the city. In fact, the top of the tower reaches more than 400 feet off the ground. And with the lights on, it really is a giant sign of the Christmas season.
Ah, yes, getting that Christmas feeling. That's our update report for this Thanksgiving Eve.
For the Update team, thanks for being with us. Good night, and enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.